Apparently, I have been seeing. Apparently, I have been using one of the wrong words for still. I've been using the try. This is try. This is still. So in my last few videos, I apologize. I'm still, I'm still learning sign language. I'm trying to practice. I also have been trying to practice a little bit of ventriloquism. No, you haven't. Dude, they can see your lips move. You still can't. I, I'm practicing. What are you talking about? That's not you. Well, who is it then? It's he, your inner voice. Uh, but yeah, so that's I figure with ventriloquism and trying to learn other languages, I could be able to, have somebody like speaking in random Spanish out of nowhere in a random area, like lo siento, señor, tú tienes what, tú tienes un dinero, tú tienes un dinero. I don't have any money. Obviously, you can still see my lips moving, but I'm trying to get the hang of it. And dude, that is so. I'm having fun with it. The more I do it, the more I try to practice it, the more I try to get the hang of it, the better it becomes. So like I say, ventriloquism plus multiple learning languages. I figured I could probably make that into something down the line. And plus I'm trying to do the whole voice acting thing still, or at least I'm still interested in doing it. So I figured what better way to add to my repertoire than ventriloquism, multiple languages, and being able to sign. Who knows? It could help out in the long run. But it's really challenging. No, it isn't. Okay, that's enough of that. But seriously though, this week has been crazy. Okay, like just wild, and I mean, I think the thing that's really kind of making me happy is the fact that we're starting to see, we're seeing Fox News crumble. It's not breaking down, it's not getting destroyed, but it is crumbling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white supremacists are going to be really upset about the fact that Fox News is starting to lose even just a little bit. And I mean, like, it's good that, like being a native of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, it does kind of affect me a little bit to not see Don Lemon not working at CNN anymore. But I don't care that much about CNN in the first place, so it's really not that big of a deal for me. What is a big of a deal for me is Tucker Carlson, because I know that now that Tucker Carlson, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he like the most watched show on TV for a short time? It's like, if that is the case, like, that's a lot of racists like tuning in to see this guy. And now it's like, where are we gonna go to see our thing now? How are we gonna hate everybody without somebody actually telling us how to do it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now it's kind of like just sort of making me wonder, like, where are they gonna go now? You know what I mean? Like, there's other things on Fox News that we could get into, which is understandable, but it's like not nearly as talented of manipulating the stupid as Tucker Carlson. So I don't know. I just need to know kind of where that leads to. And I mean, like, also speaking of political stuff, bro, like, there's been political stuff going on all over the place, man. Like, anti LGBTQ person politician going to a Pride festival and getting remorselessly booed. And then you have like the whole thing happening in Oklahoma, where the racists are basically lamenting that they can't do unspeakable thing to us anymore. That really, like, the one thing that got me stressed out about that tape was when they said they got more rights than we do. Dude, I'm black. I'm scared to walk outside because I'm sure that that's going to be reason enough to get me arrested and or shot by a police officer. How do I have more rights than you? Like, seriously. Um, you know, I mean, Trump got indicted. That's something, but who cares? He's a rich white dude, so he's going to get away with it. So it's just like it's a lot that's going in politically, and that's kind of surprising me. But I don't really want to talk about that too much because I have a whole lot of things I want to talk about, specifically how we look at nostalgia through the lens of rich white people way too often. Like, I'm black, and there was a, I don't know, there was a joke that went along a while back, basically saying, "Oh, if you were to, if you're black, you probably might not want to do no time travel." And it's like, yeah, clearly, because everybody hates me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a black dude, I'm a black American dude. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I were to time travel and go to another country, I'm still American, and they hate me for that. So it's like, I'm black, I'm male, I'm American. Everybody already hates me now. They would, like, probably have hated me even worse back then. So it's really wild. So it's like, I don't, that's why I kind of don't get nostalgic. I don't be like, wow, I really wish that I could, like, I really wish I can go back to another time, a better time, because I know that there's no better time. Like, every time is kind of a swirling maelstrom of misfortune and woe. So it's like, no way. You couldn't catch me doing it. And the fact that there's people out here who are nostalgic about stuff, about certain times, it just is a little bonkers to me, considering that, like, I mean, like, where are you gonna go? You're still black. So there's that. Um. Oh, right. The biggest news I ever gotten so far. So anybody who knows me specifically personally, I have been trying to do, like, my own personal genealogy for years, and I work with what I have. I work with what I have, and I don't have much. I have a family that I can talk to about these certain things and try to get a little bit of information from them. But that's if that's if they're available at the time. That's if they're free. But they're not always going to be available. They're not always going to have the time. They work, they got lives, they got children, things like that. So, it's very, very, very challenging to sort of, like, branch out, because there's a whole portion of my family that I did not know, because, we were so split up. We were so, like, I don't want to say isolated, but like I said, everybody had lives. So because everybody had lives, the community, the getting together, the families was just not a thing. So you can only imagine just how like uplifting it feels to have a cousin who is from a certain branch of that family just reach out to me, of all people, and just tell me, hey, I'm willing to communicate with you. I'm willing to have this conversation with you about, our bloodline, so we can kind of, get some, like answer some questions, connect some dots, like build some bridges. And it's beautiful, man. It really is. It's a breath of fresh air knowing that, you know, that I have an idea. I'm that much closer to kind of knowing a little bit more about my bloodline, because sometimes it just feels, I don't know how to say it, but it feels like I just sort of get lost in the fog. It's like, I know who these cousins are. I know who these cousins are. But what about these people? What about these people? Like, one of my grandparents has siblings. I've never met any of them. I never met any of, my cousins on that side before. So it's like, there's so much dot connecting. There's so much going on. And, I come from a big family. So it's like, in those times, people had like 10, 15 kids. And, my bloodline is no different. So it's like, there's a whole collection of people that I just never met, like a couple 100,000 people that I not 100,000. That's a big number, or actually, or is it? Like, but it's just good to know that like there's a I'm gonna be able to finally meet people that I just never I've always wanted to know and never got the chance to know. It's a good feeling. It really is. I just hope that I, bring up leave at least a moderate impression. I'm not even gonna say a good impression because I know I can upset people. I know that my presence can be a little frustrating for some. So, you know, I'm not expecting anything perfect. I'm not expecting anything like amazing or great. But if I can just go for okay, that works for me just fine. Um, Big reason why I always wanted to know about genealogy is because I started getting a bit of an interest in history, and it's a good feeling knowing that I can have an idea about the stuff that can come from learning about what my family members was doing during this time frame. How did members of my family overcome stuff like the Great Depression or the Great Recession, so to speak. Like, how did members of my family overcome the transgressions that they overcame in order to keep their family afloat, so we could, so me and my kinfolk can be here. It's something about like being able to know that story is just satisfying, even if it was terrible. It's the fact that I would know about it that would actually kind of help, just help the process a little bit. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's a very hurtful process to like not. For me, I'm obsessed with knowing stuff. So when I don't know something, it hurts. So for me, this is healing. I just hope they like me too, man. Like, I don't like being disliked. I can understand being disliked. I can respect it, but I still don't like it. You know. But if it's my fault, I understand. I just hope that it doesn't go badly. But that's about it. Y'all be easy, love and peace. Also, I can't stress this enough. Look up your own genealogy. Figure out, where you are. You don't like if you know your story already, go deeper into it. And for those who don't really care to know their story, I'm just saying you might not know who you're connected to. I just found out that one of my friends that I've known for roughly a decade, he's Barack Obama's cousin. You can knock me over with a feather. I've been talking to Barack Obama's cousin for like years. Did not know it. Who could you be connected to? Genghis Khan, Thomas Jefferson. The joke there is that those people have fathered a lot of kids. Some in the most terrible of ways. Y'all be easy now. Love, peace, happiness, and safety to every single one of y'all out there. And we'll talk again. See you next week.